Good afternoon, Dr. Candace.
Good morning and good afternoon to you. You know, I always say that.
Ah,
It's 10 o'clock here. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you today?
I am doing excellent. I'm still on vacation, so I am resting. I,
I
I
know
don't
that's
even look
right.
rested. I am resting. I really am. I'm resting. I'm having fun. I'm resting again, resting some more. And I'm into me. I am doing absolutely good.
That
I
is
needed this.
awesome. That's
I needed this.
awesome.
Why I'm waiting on September 16th?
I know that's right. I know for me, I didn't take any vacations. I've been planning to do things once a month. I've been taking a
Yeah.
couple once a month things, once a month
Okay.
vacations, you might as well say, where I'm only going for maybe about 3 or 4 days,
Okay.
mainly towards the weekend. And after talking to one of my good friends, she was saying, girl, we ain't gotta go away on the weekend. We go away during the week because it's cheaper. I said, you know what, you're right. And she always goes away between Tuesday and Friday. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna start doing that. But like this week, this week is the holiday week, and so I'm not doing too much this weekend, but during the next week, I'm gonna take my mother away for a few days. And so yeah.
Good. That is awesome. And your friend is absolutely right. It is cheaper. You know, it is. It's cost effective to
Mhm.
fly or go out or go to a staycation or a nice hotel during the week. So I absolutely agree with her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, because during the week it's fun. Plus, it's not as busy. It ain't even
Right.
really about the money. It's just not as busy. You know,
Yep.
because everybody want to do stuff on the weekend because people work and it's not as
Mhm.
busy on the weekdays. So I like that. So that's
But
good that you're taking mama somewhere.
yeah, might as well. But you know where else is not as busy? If you go when you map them out, Disney World. If you plan to go
Oh,
to Disney World and you go in the month of what month is it? September, when all the kids go back to school, girl, you can have an adult good time.
really? Okay, I'm gonna take that into consideration, and that's in Florida
Yeah.
because I know
Yes.
we
Yep.
have
Y'all
Disneyland
have
here.
Disneyland. Yep. Disney World in Florida. Let me tell you, me and a friend of mine
Absolutely,
went one time. It was so funny. We went in like the second week of September. We had the best time ever.
that's what we gonna do. Okay, so that's what my
Yep.
family and I gonna do. I
Yep.
like
Nope.
that
Yep. It was awesome. And I don't
because
know
you're
about
right. All the kids at school,
they was at school.
good,
So it didn't matter what day you went because the parents wasn't taking them on the weekend.
good. I like that.
Yep.
Okay, that I
Mhm.
love that. I think we're gonna do that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that, T. We're
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It hits different. It really hits
Yes,
different. All right.
absolutely. Yes. So I'm glad everything is well with you. And how's the weather there in Philly?
Oh my goodness, it's hot.
Oh, is it
Hot.
humid?
90 degrees and it's a little humid going on, a little
Okay.
humidity going on, but yeah, 90 degrees today. So
Okay.
yes.
It's
And
hot
I've been
here too. In
yeah,
Cali, it's hot. But
yeah.
I love the hot. So what are you? So Dr. Tyra, tell us, are you a cold girl or a hot girl? Which do you prefer?
I prefer to be hot so I can cool
Okay.
myself down, but I'm a fall baby, so I prefer like fall and spring are my seasons. When it's not too hot, not too
Okay.
cold, just right. But if I
Okay.
have to pick a choice, I choose to be hot rather than to be cold because I
Okay.
always equate cold with darkness.
You know what? I get that. I do. I do. I like hot too. I do. I
Mhm.
prefer this,
Mhm.
because you could go in air. You could turn the air on in your house. You
Mhm.
air in the car. Different
Yes.
establishments and businesses we go into, they run in the air. So you have the air. So
Mhm.
yeah, I get that. I do. I don't want to go to Alaska. I know it's beautiful, but I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there. I don't want it cold all the time, because in Detroit, so I'm from in Michigan, it's always cold. I don't want to
Mhm.
deal with that. Yeah. And you're
Oh,
right. It sets a certain tone for you. It makes you feel like I can't do anything. I don't like the snow.
right,
I don't like the snow.
girl.
Like I'm here in California, so we don't get it. Well, the
Yeah,
part of
you
California
know
I
what? It
live
hasn't been too bad here though. It hasn't been too bad. We've been all right. Like our
in.
winter
Okay.
wasn't that bad, which was good, because
Yeah.
it could have been a lot worse because we know how bad our winters get. But it's been
Yeah.
pretty good. Everything has been pretty good for us.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, we have a fantastic show today. I'm very excited about our show because this show gonna hit on so many things, and we just go get into it and talk about our show. But before we get into our fascinating, amazing topic that we have for everyone today, it's time for a tea time with Dr. Tyler.
So, everybody, let me tell y'all the tea this week. Oh my goodness, there's been so much going on online. So, one of the subjects that came up this week was about a father bringing his child some food to eat, and the mom rejecting him, from bringing the food because he didn't bring food for all her other children, and it was a whole ordeal all on played out where the mom videotaped this whole situation, and it was not good. It didn't look good on her part, so to speak. And that's been a topic of everybody's conversation. What's really funny is Dr. Candace was just telling me a few minutes ago that she found out it was a whole skit.
Yes, I was shocked. I go to social media and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that was a skit. That was a skit." That y'all was mad, and one of my really good YouTubers that I really like, her name is Megan. She was like, "Yeah, I just found out that was a skit because she did a whole thing on it on her YouTube channel where she had her perspective and her viewpoint, and then everybody's just found out that it was a skit." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." But whether it was a skit or not, I had my viewpoint. But what's your viewpoint on that?
My viewpoint on it is, number one, it's his he was bringing food for his child. Now it could have went a number of ways. He could have, came to get the child and took the child out to get food, you know what I mean? And not, around the other children, right? So that's one perspective that we could take, right? But then I look at it like this, you know, how is she going to expect him to bring food for all of the children when he might not have the income to support all of that? And at in the end of the day, he has a lot of stuff going on. Like, we don't know what all this man has going on. I'm just assuming, because at the end of the day, he has to live a life every day, right? And if this is his only child, we don't even know if this is his only child, right? He could have other kids. He could have a whole carload of bags of food that he's dropping off, for all we know. But the idea that if he's in child support court, he is doing his job by feeding his child. You know what I mean? And it's not his responsibility, in all honesty, for him to take care of the other children. That is all her responsibility. And so for her to feel that is his job. Now, if it's a situation where he has bought pizzas and things like that for the other children, for him, for his child to share, that's different, But at the end of the day, if he had bought enough for all the children, number one, that could have put him in a financial deficit. Number two, we don't know if those kids or that mama would have been grateful, because a lot of people, my kids don't eat McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, they go a whole left field. So it's a number of factors that needed to be, evaluated with that whole situation. When you think about it honestly, But what's your take on that, Dr. Candace?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. My take on that is I saw, and when I first saw the situation on social media, my first thing as a mother, and was once a single mom at one time, and I have a two baby daddies, a husband though, I'm a wife, but I two baby daddies, is that she's projecting. Uh, my take, it ain't his responsibility. He has one child by her. So this is my view. And people may feel, well, he should bring for all. Why? Where them other daddies at? Why are you yelling at this man and trying to make him accountable for children that are not his? Now, yes, they were once together. And like she stated in a separate video, we were once together and he brought them food and stuff before. But now they're not together and it's really not his responsibility. So I feel as a woman, we should take accountability. Take accountability, sis. If you know that you're in a certain situation, one, you got to watch who you lay down with. That's one. One, you got to watch who you lay down with. Two, if you are in a certain situation and you got one baby daddy doing something, then you need to up your game so you can take care of the other three. I did it. That's how you do. Because you cannot make one man take care of the rest of the kids. You're projecting, because I'm gonna say it here on the mental health minute, because your shit ain't together. because you don't have it together. If you would have had it together once he dropped off that McDonald's, oh, go ahead, sweetie. You can leave the McDonald's. Thank you. You pack up your other three in the car. Come on, let mama take y'all to get y'all. You come too. You come too. You eat yours. I'm about to take them to get theirs. It's good. That's how we need to do as women. Be ready. Be ready. So you ain't gotta get ready. Stay ready. So when one drop off McDonald's, Burger King, Popeye's chicken, or whatever they dropping off, and the other daddies didn't come, say that's all right. Mama gonna take you to get yours. That way you don't have to project your anger out because it's our kids. Y'all know what that old fashioned saying is: "Mama's baby, daddy's maybe." So that ain't his kids. He got one. So if he dropped off one Coca-Cola, then you go and you provide the other three for the other three, because that's not fair. So I just felt she was projecting to me that you mad because your shit ain't together. You mad because this one is doing it where the other one's. Like he stood up there and said on her porch. So you mad at me because I'm bringing for my son? I'm bringing for my son? Where the other baby daddies at? Exactly. So as a woman, I'm saying that because I've been in that position. However, mine didn't look like that. We were in the same position. However, I was like, you can take care of that one. I'm gonna make sure they okay. You don't have to do nothing for them. They're good. But thank you, because it still help. Allow that man to help. And see, that topic, that skit or that situation that transpired, went on, has a lot to do with our topic today. Because if she has boys, which she did, because she said, how you gonna just feed once, not feed the other, feed their son? He's watching that. He's watching that, and he can grow up and mimic that same behavior. Like, well, whether it be the behavior from mom that was very combative, it could be that behavior. So that kind of goes along with our topic today. Can a woman raise a man? That goes along with our topic. It's kind of a two-way with that one. So my thing is that I think she was wrong. Let him drop off, because you know how many baby daddies ain't dropping off nothing. Girl, you barely can get pampers out of some of them. So this one dropping off and you turn this one away. What about the ones that's not? What are the other three? So he is shut down for showing up. The other three didn't show up at all. Because like she said, I got three other kids. Where they at? Where they daddies at? They didn't show up. So I had a problem with that. So we gonna put the brother down that showed up, but the ones that didn't show up, wow. So he got in trouble for showing up. Wow, okay. Yeah, so I didn't like that. Yeah, that don't sit right with me. Because again, I've been in that situation, but it was handled different. It was thank you. Come on, ladies, take your help when you can get it. They helped. They showing up. The brother showed up with food. Okay. Show up. School clothes time coming up. So what if there was school clothes? You know, school started back in September. So school gonna show up. He show up with a backpack full of school supplies and 6 outfits for the baby and 2 pair of shoes. Oh, because you didn't bring school supplies and backpack and school clothes. This one can't have it. So that's what we doing. I want to see her say that then.
Right.
Keep that same energy that you had for that McDonald's, keep it for the school clothes. Yeah. So, yeah, I know I went on a tangent on that one, but that one hit home because I've been in that situation. And I feel we need to do better as women because he showed up. Oh, at least McDonald's here. And if you ain't got it, you split that hamburger in half, or we're going to figure out something. We'll figure out something. Don't videotape it. Say it in a different way. Whatever message they were trying to get across, whether it was a skit or not, that message was not inviting to the Black community, because others are watching, and now they watching and they seeing how we think and how we work behind scenes. At least some of us, because we don't, but at least some of us. So if that was a skit, let's do better. Let's make a skit to where we change that trajectory. He brings the food and he brings it for one time for one child. Change it. Okay, thank you. And have a sidebar conversation with him. Have a conversation, because that right there wasn't a conversation. That was a blown out argument. That wasn't even a disagreement. That was hell. So we need to change how we maneuver and how we work and how we communicate with one another. So that's my take on it. That's my take on that.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I agree with everything you said, Dr. Candace. Because I mean, it was disheartening, and so yeah, and so yeah, so Should we do the other story or should we go right
Yes,
on in? Okay, so
love.
the other story, Dr. Candace knows more about that. Dr. Candace, what was going on with the other story you was telling me
So
about?
this morning, I'm just going to tap in everyone for the tea with Dr. Tyra. So this morning, I was on social media, and I'm always looking for stuff that we can bring and what we can talk about to open up our show. And this morning, it was a 63-year-old pastor married a 18-year-old girl. Yeah, I call her the girl.
Hmm.
Uh, 18-year-old young girl, young lady, this morning. We didn't marry her this morning, but he was at the standing at the pulpit, standing up there, talking to the congregation, saying, "Yeah, this my wife. She's grown, and don't y'all say anything. And yeah, I married her, and it's my wife." And he was just standing up there, and it just didn't sit right with me either. So my take on that. The age difference. I don't know if y'all know this, but y'all gonna hear it today on the Mental Health Minute, and y'all know I'm gonna come with the facts because I like data. Your brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. I don't care what you've been through. People be coming to me, well, Dr. Kids, you don't know what I've been through. I've been through this, I've been through that. That don't still, you can go through hell and not ready for it. I'll say that again. So stop saying what you've been through and make it equate with where your mental state is. Because you can go through something and not be ready for it. So just because you went through it don't mean that, oh, so now you that age? That's like saying because a 14-year-old girl is having her menstrual that it's okay to have a baby. No, no. So he is saying she's 18, so she's grown. No, she 18 and she can buy a lottery ticket and some cigarettes and join the military. She can't even buy liquor. She can't even get in the club. She ain't grown. She is not, absolutely not. She does not have a fully developed brain. She is not a fully developed woman, not at 18. And anybody disagree, that's fine. All opinions are welcome. But she's not. Because to me, my viewpoint on this, to the audience and to Dr. Tyra as well, my viewpoint is that is manipulation to me, taking advantage of a child. She has not had a chance to live and to go out there and live her life. Now she about to share her life with this, I'm about to say it on the Mental Health Minute, this old ass man. Girl, I don't want no 63-year-old man. I don't want that. I don't want nothing old but some money. I know you lying. What I supposed to do with that? What I'm doing? Even though 63 ain't old, but it's old to an 18-year-old, I don't want him. And I'm old enough to be this girl's mama. And I don't want that. So I'm just saying, now life is for the living. And we're here to live. And to God say, come on home. This 18-year-old girl about to be cooking and cleaning and laying up and doing God knows what and sitting up there being the first lady with a hat at 18 when she's supposed to be in somebody's school or traveling the world or selling bundles of lashes. You know what these young people do, making a TikTok video, I don't know, doing something, living her life, seeing where she fit in her universe. Not the universe, but her universe, finding her voice, her word, her tone, her love, getting into her. Now you got to find you with him. He lived his life, still living it though. But he's lived. He's 63. He didn't have some experiences. Now the experiences this child have to experience, she got to experience with his ass. That's my viewpoint. What's your view, Dr. T?
First of all, it's the team for me. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, when I think about where I was at the age of 18, being married is not something that was in my even thought capacity, right? It was like at 18, I was just like, all I was thinking about was going to college, doing what I needed to do to be successful. Like that's all I was worried about was going to do my college thing. I was not worried about trying to be somebody's wife. I wasn't even worried about being somebody's mother at 18. It was just like when I tell you when I think about my 18, I was living my best life, and it's just like and so with that whole thing and then let alone with an old man like that. And it's like so funny because I think about my aunt. My aunt told me, before she passed, she said to us when we was younger, she said, "Don't you mess with no old ass man and get worms." And and so that wasn't even a part of my thought capacity to even go that route. You know what I mean? And so, so with that, it's just like when I heard the story you telling me about, it, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? But at the end of the day, people love who they love, right? And if this is the choice they made, if they love it, if they like it, I love it. Go for it, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, that chick they gotta live their life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, they got to
They
live their
gotta
life.
live
But
their
I
life.
will
They
say
gotta
this:
live their life.
you're right. They got to live their life. But I'm gonna add this: if she come from mama and daddy, she went to another parent home because
Yes.
this old man is set in his ways. He is 63. He is
Yes.
out to mold you. He is getting ready to continue raising this girl.
Yes.
Because and I'm talking to the audience, I did
Mhm.
not have what Dr. Tyra had at 18. Dr. Tyra at 18 was living her best life. She was in college. She was doing exactly what she wanted to do. And audience, you want to know what I was doing at 18? I was raising kids. Back 19, I was a mother of three. So that's why I'm speaking from experience. And I didn't have no husband. I did
Mhm.
not marry him. Hell no. I knew better than she did. Even though I had them kids, I wasn't marrying him.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I get it. I can
Mhm.
imagine only what this child is thinking because I'm looking at the other side. Tyra was doing what we should have supposed to be doing. She was going to school and she wasn't worried about all that. I'm sitting up here. I was raising three amazing, beautiful children. Now they grown. Now I'm so glad they grown, Lord Jesus. Okay, good babies. They blessings. They were surprises. You know, surprise is something you don't know that you won't until you get it. That's what they was. So yeah, I had three babies at the age of 19 and don't regret it because they're beautiful surprises and I'm glad they're here. However, it was hard. And I can imagine what this young woman is about to go through. I don't know if she got kids, about to have something about his man, and probably end up raising by herself at some point because he's 63 and she 18. It's just it's a lot. It really is. My take on that is whoever was her caregiver in the beginning, whether it was mama there, grandmother there, y'all took her, allowed her to go from over here to over there. So you went from one parent home to another. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. To me, because it's
Yeah.
hard. It's
It
hard,
is hard.
and
It is
she
hard.
doesn't have a chance to grow. Grow. I've been there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yep.
had to raise my kids and I had to grow with them. But
Mhm.
those are my children. It's different when it's your kids than a man.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
it's wholly real different.
A
So
whole different.
yeah, my heart just go out to her. I wish her the
Mhm.
best. God, please protect that child. I
Yeah.
wish her the best. And the reason why I think I have a problem with it too, because he is a man of the cloth.
Right. That's the other piece.
Yeah.
That's the big story right there.
Yeah, he's a man of the cloth. That's probably why I
Mhm.
have a problem with it too. She was better off when these little rappers. What is when these little
Girl.
Okay, yeah, I got a problem with it. I said it on the mental health minute. Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, Dr. Candace had a problem with it." Yes, I did. I do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, Dr. Tyra, always amazing. The team,
Always good to
Tyra,
team with
always
Tyra.
amazing.
Yes. So we're going to take a short break before we get into our topic. All right.
I
Well,
love that commercial. Yes, yes, yes. With that commercial, everyone, please join me on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Times, all things relationships, where we have an amazing grown folks conversation about all things relationships, whether it be relationships with yourself or relationship with a partner, relationships with family, but all things relationship. And it is an amazing show that I am trying to grow. So just come on and join me and we'll get into it. But for now, forget about that. We here with the Mental Health Minute right now. This is the Mental Health Minute Hour. So let's get into it. Our topic today is a juicy topic, but it's a topic that hits home. It is, can a woman raise a man? Yeah, makes you think. This topic makes you think. Can a woman raise a man? So, what Dr. Tyra and I are going to talk about, and what the questions and everything that we're going to get into today is, can a woman raise a man? It is a two-part question. Can a mother raise a boy child to be a man? And also, another one, Dr. Tyra, and to the audience as well, can a woman date a man that is in a man's body but got boy ways. Can she change that? Come on now. I told y'all this was juicy. So let's get started with my beautiful co-host. I want to hear her take on this. So
Go.
the first take, what's your professional opinion and personal opinion?
Mhm.
Can a mother child raise a boy child and raise him up to be a man? What is your take on that?
I think a mother can raise a son to be a man with all of the proper people in place because, as everybody says, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And I have a lot of single friends who have sons. And, I think about one of my friends. She reached out to all of her male counterparts, all the males that she knew, and helped, that were positive influences, right? And when I say all of these men, they all stepped up to the plate and helped her with her son because her son's father was not there. That was his choice. He chose to be around when he wanted to be around, right? And it was horrible when the child graduated. That's a whole nother topic of how he showed up at graduation. Was still just as bad, was worse, okay? But at the end of the day, he had such strong male role models that her son, now, college student at Howard University doing the damn thing. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome young man, And when I think about, she stayed on him and I used to be like, will you stop nagging that boy? Give him 5 minutes, let him breathe. And no, I'm not letting him breathe. And it was just like, I'm like, but just chill for a minute, because you just on him, on him, on him. And I'm on him because I don't want the streets to be on him. And I understood where she was coming from, And when I look at, their journey, you know what I mean? And their journey, some days was good, some days was bad. But when I look at, how he turned out in the end, very productive, very productive young man. I look at one of my other girlfriends, her son, she raised an awesome young man as well. He goes to school down at Fayetteville State. Like they did what they had to do, as mothers to keep that strong bond. They knew that they could not show them a lot of the things that men that with having a father there, they knew they wasn't dad too, okay? But what they did was they reached out to all of those male figures that could help them. And thank goodness they chose, positive forces to help them. So yes, they you can, and I know a lot of people are like, oh no, you have to, if you don't have one there, if you don't have a father figure there, you have to do the best you can. You know what I mean? With what you have.
Absolutely.
What is your thoughts on that, Dr. Candy?
Yes, beautifully said, Dr. Tyra. I totally agree with you. A woman we do the best we can as women. You know that we do the best we can, and I did the best that I could. As when I was a single mother, I'm not now, but I did the best that I could. And you're absolutely right. I had strong male figures in my son's life at the time. At the time, you have to have that. Now, when there is mom and just son, she's doing the best she can and she's teaching him some things. And we're going to talk about some of the things that moms teach their sons. But in order for, this is my take on it, and professionally, this is definitely my take on it, personally and definitely professionally as well, because I see it within my practice when men are coming into my practice, because I help men as well. When they haven't had a strong male figure in their life, they don't know what that look like. In order to be something, know something, grow through something, you got to see it first. In order to fry the chicken, you need the recipe. You got to know how to do it. In order to bake the cake, you need the ingredients and the recipe. In order to go to school and be a doctor, you got to go to school and take the lessons and take the classes. So you have to see it first. And so when you don't have that strong male figure in your life and a positive male figure in your life, then how do you become one? How do you become that? In order to become it, you got to see it. You got to mimic it. It has to be in front of you. So I think that's important. So to the question, can we raise men? Absolutely. like you said, Dr. Tyra, with male figures, strong, positive, healthy male figures. Because you can have male figures, the woman can have, the mom can have male figures around, but if they ain't positive and they selling drugs and pimps and doing everything and whatever, because that's my era where it come from, then you can imagine what you would get if that boy child sees that. But if they see a strong male figure in the home or around or coming around, then absolutely she can. Now, with that take, so we agree on that, and I hope the audience will agree on that as well, that a mother, we do the best we can. When we don't have that, how does that look? When the mom does not have that strong male figure and that support system and those healthy traits, what that look like for that boy child? What you think, Dr. Tower? What does that look like for him?
Well, when a child doesn't have that in their that type of role models in their life, when I think back of folks who did not, the mom worked even harder, to try to make life be not easier but simpler, not easier or simpler, but to try to make them be mold them into who she wanted them to be, right? Which was always a struggle, especially when folks become teenagers, you know. And so it's like, so it's like they went 10 times harder than the average parent with making sure that they did what they need to do, right? But when they had role not I'm not going to even call these people role models. When they had men, because you did have some folks out there that brought any old body over to the house and want them to basically be a parent to somebody else's child, and you looking like, wait a minute, this, like, this dude is doing X, Y, and Z. That's not a role model, and so with that, it's like you find yourself having to check the mom. Let me check you for a minute, because you need to be checked for bringing such a negative force into your child's life, you know what I mean? And and sometimes children are put in situations where they would have to go live with other relatives just to be able to get, number one, I'm gonna say, peace of mind. Number two, get the nurturing from other male relatives that they need, and put to help them go on the right path. Because sometimes we do see situations that don't go right, especially if the mom doesn't go hard. But one thing I will say is this: when there is a situation, if you are alone and trying to raise a son by yourself, if you're a single mom, number one, if you need to read books on how to raise a son, read those books. That's number one. Be able to learn from experts. You know what I mean? Granted, no child comes with an instruction book, but be able to learn from what others are saying. You know, help him find a good group of other children that he can hang out with. Who have those role models in regards to their fathers and father figures in their life. You know, be able to encourage. I mean, you can't force nobody to be a parent, you know what I mean? But if there is a father around, you can encourage. Now it's up to the child whether he want to bring them in or not, bring them in his life or not, but never put it out there that, in a negative manner, that, okay, he's a deadbeat, he's this, that, and the other, because you've seen and heard that a lot, and that's not cool either. So just being able to, be able to find the right individuals in that child's life. And if you don't, just make sure that, you and your child walk the walk together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally
What is your thoughts on that, Dr. Queen?
My thoughts on that is when the positive male figures are not around, this is what I have seen happen on several occasions. The mother projects her anger onto the child because she wants them what she wanted for her relationship and what she wanted the dad to do, she forces the son to do. He doesn't know how. And so I have seen them where the mom goes so hard, she becomes over demanding, set high expectations for the boy child, and say, you must do this because your daddy didn't, and your daddy wasn't this and that. So you got to do this. You go to school, you get a job, you do this, you do that, you do that, you do that. And she's going so hard. You can go so hard to where you damage. You can go so hard to where you damage because what that father didn't do, the mother is expecting the boy child to do. She say, well, I want you to be better than him, so you gonna do it, which she is not understanding how he know how to do it. He ain't never been taught. You expecting this young man, especially when they're teens, like Dr. Tyra stated, it gets even tougher when they're teens because I see this and I counsel men that has went through this, that their mom went so hard as a single mother when they were teens to where he backs up and he grow up and it's these high expectations and she has created fear, especially when they're little or they preteen, when you are saying my son's the man of the house. No, he ain't, sis. We got to stop saying that because he's not. He is not, ladies, the man of the house as a child. You are putting too much responsibility and expectations on a child. He is not the man of the house. And we're gonna follow to our other topic with that, where it's a difference between a man of the house and a boy around the house. That's just a boy. He's a child. And that's putting too much, those expectations. And then we want, well, your dad didn't do this and your dad want that, but I want you to be a good father. I want you to do this. So I'm expecting you to do this. You expecting something out of someone that was never taught how to do it. And I see that a lot. I see it a lot. I even felt victim to that at one time until I was checked, pulled back, and was taught that ain't what you do. He ain't man of the house. He's a child. No, you need to go get you a man of the house. He is not. He's a child. So we have to be careful when we are raising our boys, and we have to be careful with what we say and the expectations we put upon them when they have not been taught to meet those expectations. You're setting them up for failure. And then they get with women, such as ourselves, and now we got to raise the boy. Yes. Do
You're
you
right.
agree with that?
I totally agree. I totally agree. And that leads into your next question. The question
Yeah.
that you had in regards to
So my next question is, oh, this one, and we talked about this before on All Things Relationship. My next question is, can a woman, such as myself, Dr. Tyra, and all the beautiful women out there in the world,
mhm,
billions of us, can we raise a grown man?
mhm, mhm,
He's in a grown man body, but he got boy expectations. Boys, he got a boy trait. Like all
mhm,
his traits are boyish. Everything he do,
mhm, mhm,
you know. Yeah. Can we mold him into the man we want him to be? What's
mhm,
your take on that, Dr. Tyra? Can you raise a man? Can you take a man that's in a grown man's body? And yeah, he may have a job, know how to drive, and can pay a bill or two, but he still got these boyish ways.
mhm,
He probably have some hidden behind past childhood trauma. He probably got mama issues and don't have a strong, or didn't have a strong father figure in his life, or had a piece of it. Because sometimes you can have a piece of it, but
mhm.
still not fully a man. So, what you think, Dr. Tyra, personal and professional? Can you train him to be the man you expect or want him to be?
I'ma say, look, that is a whole topic within itself. I'ma say no. I'ma say no because at the end of the day, the thing is, a lot of people become set in their ways, right? Now, you can tell them, you could tell a man your expectations. You can show him the things that you like. You could tell him the things that you don't like. The things you like, the things you don't like. You can share all of that information with him, right? You know, I've seen, like I think about movies that we've seen, where you've seen the woman build the man up and things like that. We could be positive forces in their lives, right? And and help them and be very supportive of them. Notice I said supportive, not support. Okay? You could be supportive of them and be supportive of the things that they're doing, which will help build a person's character, which will help build the person's ego. But at the same time, I'm gonna say no. I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
Personally and professionally. What do you think?
I agree with Dr. Tyra. Hell no, I don't want to. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the time, the energy, and the mental capacity. I don't want to do that, or the emotional strength. I don't want to raise somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
son. I be looking at his mama like, this is what you sent to me? This is what you did? That's her responsibility. I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. Do we do that? Yes. So the question was, can you? No, you can't. You can't raise a man. However, do we try? Absolutely. Let's get into this one. We do. I see it all the time within my practice and within everything. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Tyra has seen this as
Mm-hmm.
well, where women get into these relationships
Mm-hmm.
with a boyish man. That's what I call him. A boyish man. He still got boyish, childish ways. And we, because we feel, women, we wear our capes and we're so strong and we feel we can love the red flags out of you. We feel we can love you. We can be so strong. We feel we can make a weak man strong. It was a quote that I saw today. It blew my mind. No woman can love a weak man hard enough to make him strong. I say it
Mm-hmm.
again. No woman can love a weak man hard enough to make him strong. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel I've been victim to that. And I'm pretty sure millions of women have been victim to that where we thought, I'm so good and I'm so strong, I could do it for the both of us. I could teach you how to do A, B, and C. No, that's not your cross, sis. That ain't your responsibility. That's too much. That's too much. That's something that he has to learn and get on his own with help, but without the help of his woman. And I think we fall victim to that a lot, where we try to raise another woman's son. He a grown ass man, and we project what we want. We get with men. I know I have. I don't, I'm gonna be honest with that. I back in the day, in my younger days, I get with someone and I fell in love with potential. What I felt he could be. No, sis, what is he? What is he? Not what he could be, but what is he right now? Because what is he at that moment in present time? You do know that's what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with his potential and what you think he could be. You're operating, sleeping with, sharing your energy and your space and your vibe with what he is. And that's who you're fighting with. So I don't think we can raise a man. I think we need to stop trying. You agree with that? Because I see it every day.
Girl, I totally agree because we see it all the time. And the thing is, people get into these relationships with these men who were not adult when they went into the relationship, right? And it's like when things go sour, they trying to figure out, well, what happened? And it's just like, well, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know who you was with. And I think over the past 2.5 years, this is what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you think about the pandemic and all of the relationships that have ended in divorce, you know what I mean? It's like people was basically with people and they now was learning who they were.
Yes,
Guess what? I got a big FYI for y'all. Y'all should have knew who the hell they was before y'all went in.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't have been a red flag and a oh my gosh,
Mhm.
and like some people was just like, I never lived with the person before. Well, I'm gonna give y'all a news flash. You don't have to move in with somebody to know exactly who the hell they are.
Mhm.
You could be dating
Right.
somebody and they live in their house and they live in their you live in yours, they live in theirs, and know who they are.
Mhm.
Okay, especially if they're authentic from the beginning and show you who they are. When the person shows you who they are, you need to believe them the first time, not the next time.
Mhm.
Because when you think about the next time and the time after that time, it's nothing. All it is building trauma.
Yes, I like that. You're absolutely right. That's what it does.
I mean, the thing is like, I mean, you find so many people out here that build their own trauma.
Mhm.
That is like, okay, I need you to wake up.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
relationship don't have to be the same
Mhm.
if you pick the right individual. And this is not just for a woman going for a man. This is for a man going for a woman because some of these women out here are still girls
That's right. Absolutely.
mentally. Just because
That
they got a body like a brick house don't mean that they fully developed in the mind.
that's right. Be built like a Coca-Cola bottle, but got a mind like a Kool-Aid jug.
Child, I was going to say one of them little hugs.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't know, can't see the forest from the trees.
Uh-uh.
Exactly. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. And so we have to do better. So I like what you said with the trauma. And that happens a lot to us when when you're getting to these relationships.
Hmm.
Do you think, because I know I do, Dr. Tyra,
Hmm.
do you think we date some of us, and most people, especially now, are dating outside of their mental state? Out dating outside of their mental realm. Like you can be advanced emotionally,
Hmm.
psychologically, and
Hmm.
relationship wise, you're advanced. So you're a woman, but then you
Hmm.
end up with a man because end up with a boy, but he's in a man's body. You're
Hmm.
dating outside of your mental realm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
happens all the time.
yes,
The thing is, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it's like, some people be like, oh, I have my preference. I like to date younger, or I like to date older. My thing is, if y'all not on the same mental level, that can be very, very stressful. And that's what people need to
yeah,
understand. Because if somebody is not on your mental level, it will hurt your brain.
yes,
It will hurt your
absolutely.
brain, hurt your head, and give you all kinds of headaches. Okay. The thing is, it's okay to date on your to find somebody that you are equally yoked with.
Yes. I
That's in the
like that.
Bible. Being
Yes.
equally yoked is in the Bible.
It is equally yoked. You have to, and I see, especially like you stated, Dr. Tyra, over these past couple of years, no yokeness. The yoke, girl, the egg ain't even there. What? I mean, ain't nobody that
Girl,
the egg is not.
girl.
This is what they talking about yolk. There's no egg
Mhm,
in the room, so that's
mhm.
what I'm saying. It just goes out the window, and we have to do better. So, what's your final word on dating, raising a man, for the mothers raising a man, and for the women dating a man, but he has boyish ways? What's your final word?
So what I'm gonna say, my final word for the mothers raising sons, ladies, keep doing a good job at raising your sons. Don't let anybody come in your way and tell you that you're doing wrong, and this, that, and the other. You're doing the best you can with the hand that you were dealt, right? Be able to go out there and find male role models, and this doesn't have to be a male that you're dating. These could be friends of yours. It can be people that friends, or people at the church, or people, like, they have big brothers, big sisters, they have pal, they have all these different programs out there that have male role models, right? So just affiliate yourself with one of them, and so that your son can find those proper role models that they need. Now, for a woman dating a man who has boyish ways, sis, you can't raise him. The raising was already done. The most you can do is, you can, again, give him all of your requirements. Tell him your wants, your needs, your expectations, your which you're willing to negotiate, which you're not willing to negotiate with, right? Be able to have that conversation with this individual, but don't try to raise him. No, he was already raised. There's nothing else you can do. Dr. Candace, what is your final word?
Absolutely. She is absolutely right. My final word on the mothers that are single moms that are raising boy children, she's absolutely right. I'm pretty sure you're doing a beautiful job. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Get some help if you need it, especially incorporate male figures, positive male figures, and there's resources out there. I encourage you to be resourceful, and your family members, allow them to help because it takes a village, because if you just do it on your own, we are definitely not saying here on the Mental Health Minute that if you just do it on your own, your son won't be nothing. We are definitely not saying that. What we're saying is, in order for him to really see and get what it takes to be a man, he got to see one. That's what we're saying. We're not saying that a woman can't do it. We're saying, but I'm a woman. I have two boys. So I can only tell them my expectation of what I have for a man, what it takes for a man to be a man. I don't know what it takes because I'm not a man. That's what we're saying. I'm not a man. So to my two boys, I do the best I can, but I have my husband. But to my two boys, if I didn't have him, I say, well, this is what I feel a man should look like and what they do and this and that. But in order for them to actually hone it and get into it, they need to see it and be around it. That's what we're saying here on the Mental Health Minute. So you're doing the best you can, get resources, get help, involve your family members if they're welcoming and if they're also family members positive, healthy family members to help you with that. And you want to date someone that is healthy. You don't want to fall into being a single mom, then you end up with a boyish ass man. Okay, see, now you got two headaches. That we can't do that. And I've been there. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to raise him, and then you acting a fool. He gonna end up picking up what you do. We can't do that. So that's what we don't want to do. You may need to reach out to myself or Dr. Tyra if you've fallen into that one, because that's no, we don't want to do that. Now, for the other part of it, the ladies, you definitely cannot raise a man. He has his own cross to carry, and he has already been raised. He didn't learn the proper tools and the proper way and a healthy way or what it takes to be a man and to show up. Whatever that may look like in his world. That has nothing to do with you. No matter how good you are, I'm talking to my queens out there, to the women. No matter how good you are or how good you think you are, you're not good enough to make him be something that he is not, because that comes from within. So he has to get that from within, and that's something he has to learn. That is nothing that we can put upon him. Like Dr. Tyra said earlier in the segment, you can like give tips, tools, and speak your speak, use your voice. But sometimes, ladies, we all know they're going one end, not the other. That's something that he has to learn, and it comes within. So that is my last word on that topic. This was a beautiful conversation. I hope it helped everyone. I
Yes.
really do, because it even helped me, because it hit home with a lot of things that I've experienced within my personal life. So, Dr. Tyra, how do you feel about today's show?
Today's show was awesome. Today's show was awesome. And here is some other additional tips on raising boys. Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Those tips are amazing.
Yes.
When I saw that one, don't make him the man of the house. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's a boy. He
Yep.
ain't ready. No,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be a man of the house, because Dr.
Yeah, not your house.
Tyra, his own house. Dr. Tyra
That's
and I
right.
always say, you're not just raising a son, ladies. You
Mhm.
raising somebody's husband. You raising an employee. You raising
Exactly.
a boss, a CEO, an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You raising a
Yes, you
leader.
are.
So you're not just raising a son. So we got to
Yep.
watch how we raise them. So thank you, everyone. This has been amazing. I am Dr. Candace Elaine, and thank you for watching the Mental Health Minute.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you for watching Mental Health Minute, everybody. Here's our preview for next week. All
I
right.
can't wait for next week.
Yeah, I know. Next week is going to be good. Everybody have an awesome weekend and have a good holiday.
Bye.